So welcome to this first webinar to introduce the learning activities that are being designed as part of the INCITE project. So as Eileen mentioned, I am Yann Raoul. I am project specialist at Oleon, and I am the coordinator of the INCITE European project. So this first webinar is going to be dedicated to the new training module on the enzymatic esterification in the oleochemical plant, from lab to demo unit. So this is the outline of our webinar today. I will present you with a short introduction to who Oleon is and to the INCITE project to set our context up. Then we'll view the course content and how you can benefit from this new module. And to conclude, we'll be answering questions that you may have on this first module. So first, a brief introduction to Oleon and to say who we are. Oleon is a leading producer of oleochemicals. Its natural chemistry can be found literally everywhere in the everyday life, as you can see here illustrated on the picture. Oleon transforms oils and fats from vegetable or animal origin into a range of intermediates, building blocks, and ingredients, such as fatty acids, glycerin, and other alcohols, that can then be further derivatized into fatty acid esters, as we've just seen before. So Oleon has a worldwide presence with global sales, industrial, and R&D activities around the globe. It sells about 500,000 tons of oleochemicals every year, with a global turnover of around 600 million euros, and it employs about 1,000 employees worldwide. So in the view to further innovate and keep innovating, improve the sustainability of its operations, Oleon and its partners have set up the INCITE project. So the INCITE project is dedicated to demonstrating the feasibility of two innovative and more sustainable chemoenzymatic processes. They are using enzymes instead of the traditional chemical catalysts to produce key ingredients. There are two demo units that are going to showcase this: a lipase-based solvent-free synthesis of oleochemical esters with a located in Oleon in Belgium, and the esterase catalyzed production of agrochemical precursors that is going with a demo plant that is going to be based in Ravenna in Italy, and that will be also the focus of a future training module. So the approach that has been followed in INCITE is to start from, use my pointer, just a second, is to start from a mix of fossil and bio-based resources, and to use a selection of core innovative technologies that are going to be demonstrated into the INCITE project. They are flow chemistry, photochemistry, at the core, of course, the enzymatic processes, and also using membrane separation to yield two main commodities, oleochemical esters and fine chemicals, that are going to be demonstrated and used for a variety of applications in crop protection, feed, food, and personal care. In parallel to these main core actions of the INCITE project, we will also look at developing some supporting actions. They will be looking at the technico-economic and market uptake assessment, the socio-economic impact, the sustainability assessment of the newly developed chains, and also in relation, of course, with today's topic, they will be dealing with the teaching and training activities. So the INCITE project started in September 2019 and is going to end at the end of next year in 2023, with a global budget of 17.4 million euros and a contribution of the European Union at 13.3 million euros in the Horizon 2020 research and innovation program. The INCITE project gathers 8 partners of which, of course, the team at the University of Ghent that manages the setup and the design of this brand new training program, alongside two large industries, Oleon NV, the coordinator, and Endura, the site where the other demo plant is going to be located, two research and technology organizations, Vito in Belgium, Fraunhofer in Germany, BICT, that is located in Italy, in the production and optimization of the production of the enzyme. The engineering company, NextChem, an academic institution that we mentioned, the University of Ghent, and the innovation cluster, Bioeconomy for Change, located in France. So now that you've had a glimpse of the context of the INCITE project, let's go through the content of the learning module that has been developed. So the INCITE project is going to generate a series of 10 training modules around and on various topics that are related to INCITE and that you will discover through upcoming webinars. They are listed here on the screen. They are not all of them, but you will discover them as the time goes and with the presentation of other webinars. So in addition to the proper module content, the aim here is to provide you with a different training experience on innovative support, as you are going to see now. The first one is going to introduce you to enzymatic operations on the oleochemical plant. And I'm going to give you a first overview of what the training module contains and how you can access it. On the screen now, you can see on the right-hand side, sorry, the course structure. So this looks like this. After an introduction that is going to recall the objectives of the course, there will be a couple of chapters dedicated to oleochemistry and enzymatic catalysis that are the fundamentals. And since this topic are at the basis of the oleochemical demo plant that is going to be built. Then that will give us the possibility to elaborate on this and how this can be used to shape the plant on paper into the INCITE demo plant, with the steps that go from the lab results to the engineering and the key engineering documents and key sub-processes that are involved into the construction and the setup of the demo plant. So in a bit more detail now, let's go through the introduction chapter that you can see here on the left-hand side. You will see that each chapter that you are going to access through this module is composed of a number of lessons that you can complete, of course, at your own pace. We estimated that the total study time for the whole module is going to be around 4 to 6 hours, depending on how you go. And the main categories of stakeholders that we are targeting is bachelor and master students that are working in various fields from biochemical engineering, chemistry, biochemistry, biotechnology. And also, it is also aimed at industry professionals in these related fields. The next couple of chapters, and the first one here is dedicated to oleochemistry. It's going to cover what the main raw materials are that we are using in oleochemistry and in relation with the INCITE project. So it will cover raw materials, fatty acids, for instance, that you can see illustrated here, but also the esters that are going to be produced, how they are going to be produced with the specific reaction types that are involved into the INCITE project. And also an overview of the filtration techniques that are used to work up the reaction mixture, as well as the analytical methods that are used to characterize the products that have been obtained. So you will see that the content of the course contains some textual information, some illustrations, pictures, sometimes some videos that have been prepared. And at the end of each lesson, you will have a short quiz on a few questions to test your knowledge. And so we'll come back to this aspect a bit later on in the webinar. The objective of the second chapter here on enzymatic catalysis, here it's going to detail what the enzymatic catalysis entails in comparison with the chemical catalysis. And again, this will be shown using a variety of innovative support, as you can see here on the board, depicting how the enzyme here interacts with the substrate. Then the third chapter will bear on the engineering phase, detailing, as you can see here on the left-hand side, the main steps in this phase of the project. And a specific lesson has been attributed to each main engineering step, as you can see here, going through the process flow diagram, piping and instrumentation diagram, and so on. And finally, the final chapter is going to be dedicated to providing you with the supporting information to recognize key elements of the enzymatic esterification plant setup, namely the reactor, the stripping columns, the filtration unit, the alcohol recovery units that are used, that are set up in the INCITE demo plant. So as I mentioned earlier, then you will also have the opportunity to test your knowledge and see how you've followed up the course. You will have the opportunity to try the fill in the gaps, for instance, as you can see illustrated here. You have the fill in the blanks that are illustrated in the screen. Also some multiple choice questions, multiple choice quizzes, and you will find one of these at the end of each chapter and in the conclusion section of the modules. And upon answering these quizzes, you will see that there is additional information that is going to be provided to detail and explain again, recall what the key concepts are that are associated with the question that was raised. So either if you get it right or wrong, you will have the opportunity to review the key concepts and to perform it as many times as you want. Finally, an important point as well is that you will have the opportunity to give your feedback on the overall experience, on the overall course content, the structure, and that will be also an opportunity for us to further improve the content and your experience on this training module. So now, to conclude, let's have a look at how you can access the learning module. So to access the platform, you will need to register directly onto the platform through the link that is provided here. The URLs that will be needed, so the link where you will need to click to perform the registration is going to be sent out to you again very soon, shortly after this presentation, so that you can get started. And for this course, you will see that as the demo plant is going to be also set up in a Dutch-speaking country, we've decided also to have the module available both in English and in Dutch. Okay, so I thank you for having followed this first part of the webinar. I hope that you are going to make great use of this platform. And if you've got questions, I will be happy to try and answer them. Thank you.